Hello and good evening, everybody. 29th of March 2024 हम इस फाइनेंशियल ईयर का लास्ट ट्रेडिंग सेशन, लास्ट ट्रेडिंग वीक और सारे सेटलमेंट्स कर चुके हैं। नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर की ओर हम लोग हेड कर रहे हैं। 1st of April वुड बी आवर फर्स्ट ट्रेडिंग सेशन और नए फाइनेंशियल ईयर में बहुत सारी नई चीजें जो बहुत एक्साइटिंग हो सकती है वो होने वाली हैं। बट एज यूजुअल दिस इज वीकली राउंड अप और मैं समझता हूं कि वीकली राउंड अप पे हमको वीक बाय वीक ही कवर करना चाहिए। तो जस्ट एज द लास्ट टाइम जो हमने किया था, वी वर कनेक्टेड विद मिस्टर अंकित खंडेलवाल। इस वीक भी हम बिल्कुल ऐसे ही करने जा रहे हैं और अगेन लेट मी call him inside the studio. Hi Ankit,
Hello.
good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
I am good. How are you? And how was the week?
Very well. Very well. Week. Okay. Week was quite very much in line with the expectation. So if you remember how we ended up last weekend, was week stock was that I was expecting range bound movement, broadly like a 22 3 400 on the top, 21 700 at the bottom, which which I expect for a much longer time to come. But typically talking about the week that went by, uh, few very peculiar week, only three trading sessions. That was one thing. I think very specific market related news came in only on the last session, wherein where the reaction that we saw was to RBI's easing of some guidelines and easing of some rules related to AIF investments. So I think if you look at the charts for the last week, the Nifty actually maintained about 100 point plus and minus from previous Friday's end. So so at a 22,100 or 22,096 to be precise, Friday's end, the Tuesday and Wednesday closing was just about 100 points in the range of that, which was very much in line with what we expected. And then this news came in, which is why we saw the reaction that we saw on Thursday. The markets went up. Obviously, it was expected. Uh, but yeah, it is very clear that if you see the index and if you see the sectoral index, it was led by about 2.5% upside in the financial services sector. So it was really led by uh, financial services, mostly banks also. ICICI Bank did a very good jump. Uh, it obviously led to a little profit booking in these stocks, because obviously these stocks are always you know uh, they are the hot buys for all the institutional investors. They with their kind of criteria to invest, there are limited number of stocks and there is a massive number of funds. So so those funds are chasing a very limited number of stocks, and any kind of 4%, 5%, 7% upside in a stock like ITC or in a stock like ICICI Bank will always attract some sort of profit booking. Maruti, for that matter, 12,300 this week, did see some profit booking. So yeah, so of course it's a both-sided game, but yeah, broadly speaking, the week can be summarized into one news, one reaction. That's it. It was, see, I see there's a big holiday mood going on because it's a 3 day week. Okay, then there is election coming in. So a lot of news flow is very, very, very political dominated. A lot of interest is going there. That is one thing. So so direct market. Plus, we are at March ending. So a lot of financial services are, with all the tax payment deadlines and filing deadlines and everything, a lot of effort is going there also. So, you know, not a lot of market activity was expected in this week, anyways.
Right.
Plus, we had this new system of T plus zero settlement. So, of course, that is done on a trial basis, as you must be aware that there are only certain brokers and certain companies which are allowed to do it. It's kind of ambiguous. But what is your call on it? How do you think this will act up? Although it's a trial basis, we'll really have to come to know. But what's your initial reading on this?
Uh, See, in this, what I would like to share is that we are the second market in Asia, post China,
Hmm.
which is getting into this kind of settlement, and we have all 25 stocks. To name some, we have Ambuja Cement, Ashok Leyland, Bajaj Auto, Bank Baroda, Indian Hotels, and we have the list of 25 stocks which are participating in this.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Another part of the story is that this is the beta version that they're testing with these 25 stocks, and it will be reviewed in coming 3 to 6 months. And as per SEBI, what they're planning is by March 2025, the entire stock market will be shifted from T plus 1 to T plus 0. Now, interesting part of the story is that as much as I remember, and I have heard it from these veteran investors, that it started off from somewhere in between T plus 15. When I got inducted in the market, it was T plus 2, and T plus 2 went on for
Correct.
long. But the most surprising part is T plus 1 just came in 6 months back, and here we are discussing about T plus 0. So there are many
Okay.
good things that I can read out of it, that by March 2025 the entire market would be doing T plus 0. So I believe if I am in a position to understand the mechanism in a proper manner, by 4:30 the stocks and funds would be there in the client's account. So if you buy into a stock by 4:30, it would be there in your demat account. And if you sell a stock by 4:30, the fund would be there in your demat account. Now, if we understand this, I believe one, the liquidity would increase, because ideally you need 2 days to settle a trade, and then you could move in to a contra trade on the third day. But now it would be done on the same day itself, so liquidity would increase. Leverage position would reduce further, because of such strong movement, such fast movement of stocks. The leverage position would reduce. And also, I believe it is a very good thing for the retail investors and HNIs, because the entire Carvi fiasco, if we read into it, it was only possible because the stocks were there with the broker. Now, but if T plus 0 functions and with all the compliance in place, so I think it's a very good step, and liquidity, safety net, everything would increase, and it's good for the market, I believe.
In
But
fact,
this was, yeah,
I also believe that in a way, a lot of requirement for additional margins, margin funding, and all of those activities, which eventually led to short deliveries, defaults, all of that will be considerably reduced. So it's a good thing for the broking community also. Uh,
right,
uh, Obviously, they'll have to find out another way to increase business, because at the end of the day, if you keep tightening the processes, the investor kinds of has to bear the brunt eventually. But if we come to a normalized position of of the how we do it on an app these days, that you sell a stock and it's marked for delivery immediately. In fact,
right,
you have to take a prior token from the depository to sell the stock.
right,
If we come to that kind of a this thing, and instead of doing one particular consolidated thing at the end of the market, do it on a hourly basis, then there is no reason why at 4:30, 1 hour after the market closes, your
right,
stock is not clear out of your thing and gone into depository. Maybe you will be required to sell by, if you sell even at 3:30, maybe you'll require to immediately, within 15 minutes, give out the, stocks,
Mm.
make
Right.
the delivery to the depository. But yeah, of course, like you said, that, as and when this gets into play, we will have to we'll have to see, and try and adapt to it. There's no other option. There is really no other option. But like you said, you have heard about T plus 15. I personally remember seeing the days of T plus 7 or T plus 5, when when there was a once a week there was a badla, and Thursday to Thursday there was a settlement. I think I'm talking about somewhere around 96, 1996, 1995, when T plus 5 was there. It got after it got into T plus 2 after that.
Right.
I joined the business. It was T plus 2, and then T plus 1, it just happened last year, and now T plus 0. So that's a, we are moving as fast as Sensex. If you see, it may take
Well, yeah,
it
so
may
this is
it may take so many years to reach from 15,000 to 30,000, but
uh,
30,000 to 70,000 is matter of, just matter of a few couple of years, or maybe, or something like that. So yeah,
right.
so yeah.
So we're talking about the future. So let's talk about the week ahead now.
Oh yes, yes. Interesting, very interesting. Again, first week of the financial year, like you said. I think, again, I would try to maintain my prediction from last week. I think we will remain broadly in the range as I described. Uh, I feel how the markets closed on Thursday, they
Hmm.
indicate a kind of a negative bias for the week coming ahead. Negative bias, why I say? Because after having a very strong reaction on the upside for most of the day, and after touching an intraday high of almost 22,500 plus, 502 or 506, something like that was the intraday high. In the last 45 minutes or 50 minutes, the market fell down more than 100 points, and was very steep correction. So that itself indicates they are not the buyers, whoever are there buying into that this rally, whoever is there, they're not very comfortable with the 3 day long weekend also. We are not even
Right.
talking about the week ahead. Week ahead might have many events which will see its own reaction, but जो 3 day long weekend है, उसके बीच में अगर कुछ हो गया, तो कोई भी अपना और स्पेशली पोलिंग चालू हो रही है अगले महीने. So, nobody wants to go with a very heavy baggage into a country which is going into elections. सो आई थिंक उसका ड्रॉडाउन जो है वो रहेगा, थोड़ा मार्केट में प्रेशर रहेगा. आई फील रेंज जो मैंने बोली वो रेंज रहेगी. इट आई डोंट थिंक एनी न्यूज विल कम विच विल एक्चुअली take the market out of that zone. There is no doubt.
Right.
Yeah, there will always be, like this week that went by. If you see the charts, there was a positive bias through
Right.
the week, but the reaction was only in the last day. 22,096 2296 was the last weekend's close, Friday's close. On Tuesday, we saw a 100 point up. On Wednesday, we saw a 100 point down from that level only. So हम उस रेंज में ही ऊपर नीचे खेल रहे हैं. और
Exactly.
थर्सडे को ये न्यूज आई, तो वहां से 400 पॉइंट खींच गया, और
Right.
चार बंद करते करते 400 पॉइंट में से भी 100 पॉइंट वापस ड्रॉ डाउन दे दिया. So
Super.
understand the if you understand the movement and the pattern, we are going to stick to a range, and news will come in as noise and deviate from that. Positive news will deviate on the positive side, negative news will deviate on the negative side. But broadly, when the things die out, things cool off, gets factored in, it'll boil down to that centralized neutral line. Is that what I'm seeing? That line is moving along in the range of 21,700 to 22,500. That's it. I don't see any news flow coming in at least macro level. I don't see any news flow coming in which will actually make the market completely go beyond this range, upwards or downwards. वैसे there is a There is a big event coming up next week also. RBI has announced its schedule of meetings. अगले
Right.
वीक की है, 3-4 तारीख को मीटिंग्स है एमपीसी।
3, 4, 5 3 days would be the
यस,
right.
एमपीसी की मीटिंग है। तो आरबी एंड आरबीआई हैज आल्सो, they have also said that they want to finish their 50% of their borrowing target for the next year in the first 6 months. So
Right.
April to September, we are looking at RBI borrowing uh, almost 7.5 trillion rupees from the system.
Okay.
So I think that will kind of reverse what we are seeing, because RBI, I was reading an article, RBI since February has been borrowing foreign currency to inject liquidity into the market. Just to give you a numerical this thing, since February, the forex purchase RBI is in the tune of $20 billion. Okay, additional liquidity that RBI is injected in the system, in the banking system, is 1.5 trillion rupees. And
Right.
this has caused your dollar in 2 months to go from 82.78 to 83.3. In fact, if you see the recent dollar chart, dollar is really got is going strength to strength.
Right.
But I think this might start, cooling off now, start reversing once RBI starts borrowing money and sucking some liquidity out of the system. Then your rupee will start appreciating against the dollar, and
Right.
some impact will, trickle down into the stock markets. I'm not saying, I'm like you said, please stick to the next week. So I'm just sticking to the next week. This is a little more because I have you understand that, speaking with institutional people, we
Right.
are always talking about 2 quarters, 3 quarters, or at least a year ahead of us,
So
always.
somehow this entire statistical data that you were discussing intrigues so much of the interest in me that I also forgot that we're doing weekly roundup, and I started off listening to what you have understood out of it, and I started off imagining the levels that we can see after that. But anyhow, that's not what we have to do right now. So does that mean we should summarize it like this, that next week coming ahead we might see some correction, and 21,700 and 22,500 would be the range, but the volatility would be there in the system and it will be giving tremendous volatile movements in the coming week? Is that
Yes.
what we are seeing?
Yes, yes, yes. In fact, you summarized it quite right. I feel that, like you said, that range will be maintained. The bias will be little negative. By
Right.
negative, I mean, typically if you see a 100, 50 point, 150 point gap up opening, that kind of rally will be sold into.
Right.
It's and typically if it goes down 200 points, that kind of downside will not be bought into with so much of aggression. So with the funds and everything, when the bias is negative, what happens is uh, selling is quick and brutal. Even if they want to go down to their limits, they will sell it. That kind of negative bias, wherever they get the scope, they sell. Positive bias on the other end, bias is quick. In a
Got it.
negative bias, buying gets little reluctant. So even
Because
if
already the sentiment is not that
correct,
in
correct,
place.
correct. So even
Right.
if you see a market opening of 200 points negative in Nifty, probably real buying will come after 2 hours, after seeing whether what is there. They will not jump into buy anything, but they might jump into sell anything.
Right.
So when you see a market upside as an opportunity to sell, that is a negative bias.
Got it.
Yeah.
Along with this, any specific sector that you're looking into?
Again, I feel that this will be kind of across the board. Uh, like I said, IT is picking up, but that is very specific to the results that will
Hmm.
come. I think after the first week only we will come to know. By 9th or 10th, these results will start coming in. That might be another fundamental trigger for stock specific trigger fundamentally for the markets. But yeah, but if we are just talking about the week ahead, uh, kind of similar zone.
Right. So IT is the sector that we're looking at, and this is the range bound week, volatile week that we're about to witness. This
Yeah.
is how we summarize it for today.
Yes. Yes.
Chaliye, it was nice talking and discussing,
As
and
always.
I hope the viewers really like this particular show that we have created, because
Yeah.
as the channel is quite new, I'm tracking each and every subscriber coming in, and post the last week's show. It went up in percentage terms, not in numeric terms, but yes, in percentage terms, it was quite happy to see such kind of figures. Anyhow, as we always say, if you like our content, please share, please subscribe, and if you have any feedback, if you want us to modify anything or induce anything into the show, do let us know. It was amazing talking to you, Ankit. Hope to see you next week as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Sure. Sure. Sure.
Right.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend. Bye
Yeah,
bye. Have a good
same to
weekend.
you. Right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.